I'm joined now by Kathleen Kavanaugh, Associate Dean for Administration at the GSB and Head of the Night Management Center program. Kathleen, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here, Tad. It's a fun night.
It is. Tell us a little bit about the scope of the project. We're here, the ground was broken just a month or two ago, but we all know construction doesn't start the first day the ground is broken. How long has this been in development?
The GSB's been thinking about this project, Tad, I would say for a better part of 6 or 8 years. I mean, honestly, a lot of thinking has gone into when the school recognized back literally in about 2000, 2001, shortly after Dean Joss arrived, that it was running out of space. We started looking at opportunities around the current GSB campus to expand, even just not even adding a new building, but where within the campus that we were already, where we could add. And quite honestly, there were very little opportunities presented. I mean, because we've got the Oval on the one side, Memorial Auditorium on the other, Frost Amphitheater on the other. So ultimately, the GSB administration went to the Board of Trustees and said, what about looking for a site for us? And they looked off campus, they looked on campus, and ultimately the dean was very pleased when he was able to accept their recommendation to take this spot across the street from the Schwab Residential Center and think of it as a long-term project. So it's been in the works a long time.
That goes all the way back to when I was here as part of the class of 2002, and I think we can remember thinking, why don't they just knock the building down and build a new one? But you can't do that between June and September.
Indeed, you cannot.
Can you tell us a little bit about the spot we're sitting in today? We're in a parking lot, obviously, but there are big plans for this place. What's going to be built here?
Well, we've got a 12-acre site. We're here basically at the intersection of Sarah Street and Campus Drive, so kind of the eastern end of the core campus. And we've got Schwab Residential Center right here on our south side, and then the Maples Pavilion on our north side. So a great spot, high visibility. It's going to be terrific for the business school to have both the residential side and the learning side kind of together. We're building actually 360,000 square feet of kind of what we call usable area, and overall, I mean, we're going to build 400 and some thousand square feet of stuff. And then we've got, as I mentioned, the 12-acre site, lots of open area for people.
How is that in comparison to the existing site?
It's about a third, well, I mean, the overall area that we're occupying is about a third larger, so about 100,000 square feet more than what we currently have. Plus now we're adding a 900-car parking structure underground. So basically the parking lot we're on now is going underground, and then all the buildings will go on top.
Any other salient features of the site that jump out for you?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be terrific. I think you mentioned earlier the LEED Platinum status, so we've got high energy efficiency buildings with lots of windows that are opening, lots of natural light coming in. Everybody's going to have daylight and views, great outdoor spaces for sitting and learning outside, inside.
It sounds like a really neat building. We're going to hear later from the lead architect, Stan Bowles, Bora Architects, and really get into some of the details of the building. Tell us a little bit more about how the community at the GSB has helped shape this project. I understand you work with a task force.
That's right, many task forces actually. So we probably have more than 100 people involved around the school. I work with faculty, staff, students, alumni, and even the broader GSB or the broader Stanford community to get everyone's input. So that's kind of my all day long, everyday job, is to really kind of take everyone and get them to participate, help us understand what they want from an office space, a classroom space, a lunchroom space, breakout room spaces, all those, and then be sure to translate that well for the architects so that we're not keeping them from being creative, but we're harnessing their creativity to give us just what we need. So.
Sure, and we're going to be hearing from one of the other members of that force, Jake Kraft, later tonight.
Yep, so, that's the student input, very important.
Real quick, any features from the old campus that'll be carried over, crated over to the new?
Well, everyone loves the birds in the birds' courtyard, right? So we can't possibly leave that behind. Had to negotiate a little bit with the university art, the Cantor Art Museum, to make sure that they'd be happy with where we would put it and how we'll treat it. That certainly will come with us. There'll probably be some other things that people will recognize, but all that has yet to be finalized. We've been really working on the design, on the exterior, the interior, and all the landscape details will come probably in 2009.
Great. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Thank you for taking the time, Kathleen.